Welcome to the Sideline. I'm your host, Emmanuel Opoku, here with Patrick Tackie. Today we're going to discuss about all the football topics and mental health and all the things that goes into being a Division I athlete.
My name is Patrick Tackie. I played here 4 years, obviously, but I started my football career here at Randolph, played here for 4 years. Went to the championship my junior year, championship my senior year, won the championship my senior year. Then I got a preferred walk-on offer out of JUCO in Mississippi. Went there and played there for 2 seasons and then graduated and got offered by K-State, and that's where I play at now.
All right, thank you for the introduction. All right, we're going to start it off nice and strong. How would you describe your football journey?
I would describe it as surreal. Something that I dreamt about since I was like in the 8th grade in middle school. I'd always used to like watch college football, like montages and stuff, and I just picture and imagine myself making plays on the big screen in front of all that crowd. Just being like that big guy that's always making plays and stuff. Always imagine myself. It's amazing how I believed in myself to go all the way there and put the effort in to be where I'm at now. And, with the Lord and my parents and my support crew behind me, I was able to make it happen.
So, in that little explanation of how your journey went, you bring up the Lord. How important is the Lord to you?
Very important. A lot of people kind of forget the fact that like He makes everything happen. If this stuff didn't happen by coincidence, I joined this program called Nurture Sport here, and it's to just get our names out and stuff. And the first years here, I get an offer I get a preferred walk-on offer, and then I go there and then I play, and I get put on scholarship my first season. That just doesn't happen off a coincidence. I played through 2 seasons, and I pick up 15 offers, and the one big offer I picked up was K-State. So that's not by coincidence either. And then I get to K-State and I get to go through all these things. None of it's by coincidence. And crazy thing is, when I went to JUCO, I was going through a lot right before up to JUCO. In my freshman year, I had the biggest doubt in myself ever. But the thing that helped me was I put faith in Christ that had faith in me, and that's what got me through it.
So you talk about doubt in yourself going into your freshman year, right? Now you get the big offer from Kansas State, a big powerhouse school, Power 5 school, and you decide to commit to Kansas State. Didn't you like feel no sorts of doubt going into it?
Yeah, the thing about young men, we're always gonna feel doubt no matter what. No matter what we go through and how hard we work, there's always gonna be that feeling of doubt. The enemy always is gonna try to take or downplay a blessing and try to take it away from you because he knows you're winning. He knows God is blessing you. So he's going to try anything he can for you to make a wrong decision. So yeah, I had doubt. I was afraid that I wasn't enough or they're making the wrong choice and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I've never done it, so I can't judge myself with something that I've never done before. So I knew I gave myself, I worked my tail off, in and out, waking up early, going to sleep late. Funny thing, like I found out that I wasn't a full qualifier my sophomore year, and I was super late until the season. So I was scrambling. Coaches were hitting me up talking about I needed these many credits to pass. So I was taking 6 classes at Hines, and I had to add 2 more credits just to graduate on time. Then I had to add 2 more credits to transfer here to K-State. So I was taking 12 classes, and I had to pass, no, I said 12, 10 classes. My math was wrong, but taking 10 classes, I had to pass 10 finals. I had to study for all that. After I came, I literally went to my OV in K-State right before Thanksgiving. It was during Thanksgiving break started, and I remember going and like hanging out with the guys, and the guys wanted me to go out with them after, just hang out. And I said I couldn't because I had to finish the essay I was getting graded on. So I remember staying up like until like 12 p.m. at night, 12 a.m., just knocking out that essay so I can pass the class that I need to pass.
So to get it right, you're African, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have African parents.
Mm-hmm.
I could relate with you there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing with African parents is they are very hard headed when it comes to playing football. You know what I'm saying? They feel like it's too physical. It's so it's like easy to get hurt and all that stuff, right? So how did you convince your mom to play football for Randolph at that?
Man, shout out my mom. I love her so much. She's one of those parents where like she never have anything. She worked her tail off, and she was a single mom. Dad wasn't really there for us, and she raised us really well. My brother is a esteemed engineer with 2 kids and a wife. My sister, she works for company banks, and she has a fiance. She makes good money. My brother is working towards his real estate certificate, and then I played Division I football. So I think she raised us really well. The biggest thing is I remember, like, she was so scared when I said I wanted to play football. I remember my freshman year where my first game of the season, I popped my sprain. I think it was I sprained my left wrist my freshman season. And she was freaking out. She's like, "Are you sure you want to do this and everything and stuff?" I remember her like massaging the crap out of my wrist, trying to make sure it got out and stuff. You know, just African parents, you know how they are. So she sat me down after I told her I got the offer, and she asked me, she was like, "Is this something that you truly want? Not because of the fame or everything. Is this your dream?" And she always says that. And so I said, "Yes, this is my dream, absolutely." And she's like, "Okay, if this is your dream, and I have to support you. I can't hold you back because I'm afraid or anything, but I will support you. I have to support you. So if you want to go do it, go." And she was scared out of her mind. It was bad. Like, my grandmother had just passed away, her mom too, and she's all the way in the States. Grandma's all the way back home in Ghana. So she was able to bury her right away. She had to go back in November to bury her. So my mom was going through it, and now your youngest son is talking about going to a whole nother state that you've never been to play football. That's explosion to the brain for an African parent, especially like when I lives in New York. That's an explosion. So she was going through it, but that's why I love her so much, is because she is so supportive with everything I do. If I tell her that this is something I really want to do, she'll never hold me back from it, and she'll make sure I go chase it. So I went there, did what I had to do, and she was so proud of me when I came and I pulled off this K-State offer. Like, I remember when I brought her on the OV, after we did the tours and stuff, and we were going back to the hotel before the game, it was like too sentimental. Like, I thought it was corny, but she was just in the car. We was in the car, and the guy was driving us back, one of the recruiters, and she was like, "I'm so proud of you. I was so scared, and I didn't know, and I thought you were crazy for going all the way to another state. But for you to go and be away from home for almost 2 years, and then to come back and bring this back to us, I'm so proud of you. And I can't wait to see what you do in the next couple of years."
That's great. But so I want to know this: were you like born in America, or
Yeah,
you came in? Okay.
yeah. So actually, all my parents born back home. They're citizens and stuff, but I was the only one that was born here.
Okay.
So that's the crazy part about it. The only one was born here, and then she's like, "You want to go to another city, go play football?" And yeah, so I know she was freaking out and everything, but you know, it all worked out.
So aside from your mom and like your other family members that are very supportive of your decision, who else was in like in the corner helping you, telling, encouraging
Man,
you?
everybody at Randolph, man. I remember core memory. This is like 2 of them. First one was I had to scramble to get my state ID so I could get on the plane. So I remember I just didn't really know exactly what to get, and I didn't have the, like, you know, you need points and stuff. So my dad had my passport, and that's the main thing you need, and he had it, and I couldn't get it. So I remember I looked online, I seen I needed my high school transcript and stuff, but I didn't know what else I needed. So I came here, and I remember Miss King and Miss Garcia, so sweet, and Frawley, because all here in the summer, and it just helped me. They're like, "Here, you need to go here right now to get your birth certificate. We'll give you your transcript." And then they were just telling me exactly what the other stuff that I need. You need your mom's ID, all this other stuff and everything. And it worked out so well. I went straight over there. Gavin as well, he helped me so much. Perdomo, everybody in this building was so helpful to me, and I was able to get my ID, and I was able to go to school, and I came back. And I remember when I told you that I found out late I was a full qualifier. I actually had to hit Pearl and Goris. I made a group chat with Pearl and Goris because I knew I needed my waiver from my guidance counselor, and I texted her, and Goris got right on top of it, like immediately. And it's a blessing because if I didn't get that done in that time, I probably wouldn't have picked up that many offers that I picked up. I probably wouldn't have gotten K-State. But because Goris and Pearl got on that stuff immediately, I was able to get my waiver in and get my ID and then get what I needed to get to go on these OVs and get offers.
All right. So we know last year we lost Kyron Lacey due to mental health issues and stuff like that. And you're a Division I athlete at a big school. You know, there's a lot of expectations for you. How do you deal with that?
Man, biggest thing is sometimes we gotta, as a growing man, you know, at these young ages, we're figuring out stuff for ourselves. We're trying to understand ourselves, who we are. So there's gonna be so many thoughts coming in. The social media doesn't help either. When you're on social media and you see an 18-year-old true freshman like that boy from Miami.
Malachi Tony?
Yeah, Malachi Tony, he's 18, he's hooping. You know, and a lot of 18-year-olds that come into college, they want to be like him, but they're not doing that. So it gets to them and the pressure starts to hit them where they're like, I gotta be that guy and everything. So social media doesn't help. But I think sometimes you forget that you run your race at your own pace. And that's what, it took me so long to understand that because I'm underdeveloped. And that's the reality of it. Coaches tell me that all the time. They tell me I have raw talent, but I'm underdeveloped. And that's because I didn't play PV football. You know, New York football compared to down south football is a completely different competition. So you don't get that development. So it took me so long to work to where I got to now. So much extra effort that I had to put in. I had to put in so much more to get to where I need to be. Biggest thing is self-care. Like you have to prioritize yourself. Like you have to. And because you're going through so much, you got classes where you have to get good grades in to stay eligible. Your coaches on your tail about getting meetings on time, workouts. Your body's beat. There's days where I'd wake up at 5 in the morning and I won't get back till 6 p.m. So I'm out for like 12 hours plus a day. So, and there's times, that little time frame that you have before you got to go to bed, you got to prioritize yourself. I went through a dark time, like right before the end of the season, and it was really dark. I remember I even went and got help. That's the biggest thing, is getting help. I went and got help, and I got put on meds for depression and anxiety meds, and that's the biggest thing. And I think a lot of men think that we need to just hold this stuff and contain it, but that's the worst thing that you can do because it's a snowball effect. It could pile up. The way I look at it is as like a wine glass. All these problems, the glass is your mental state, right? You got all these problems and you're pouring it into the wine glass, right? Now it's gonna fill up to the top eventually. Now, when you choose to hold that thing in, right, you put a lid on top of it, right? But the problems are still happening. So the glass is gonna eventually find a way to fill itself up. And if you don't let it overflow like how it's supposed to normally do, it's gonna crack, it's gonna burst, and the glass is gonna break. And now that's when that shatters your mental state. And now to rebuild that is more effort and time to rebuild that than to actually just let it flow and clean up the mess with the tissue. The same way you clean up your tears with tissue. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to go to someone to talk to. It's okay to do all of that. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable. And a lot of people think that that'll destroy your game, but the more you're in tune with your emotions, the more you play. It's scientifically proven when athletes play the best in heightened state. Like, you need the anxiety and the nervousness. You need that. You need to be in there. Now, there's a point where you're too nervous to function, or there can be a point where you're too calm and too chilled to actually perform the way you do. You have to be in this state where you're heightened, you're anxious, you're nervous about the game. It does something to your body. It's like when in primordial days when they're going on a hunt, they have that same feeling. It ups everything, ups your performance because you know you got to go get something. You're competing. So that's the biggest thing, man. Like, I was in a dark place and I made sure I went and got help. My brother was there. my brother's like my right hand man. Like I talk to him about everything. He calls me. He knows when I'm like not okay. So whenever I'm on the phone, he'll call me to check up on me, and I'm trying to shrug it off because I want to be tough for them because I want to be a front runner for them. And he just knows. He just knows whenever I'm not okay.
Yeah.
So he'll hold me accountable about talking about myself and being open with my emotions. So the biggest thing, man, I tell young athletes is prioritize yourself, take care of yourself, self-care, do things that make you happy. And then if it gets to the point, go and find help. Really do that, go and find help.
Thank you for that. All right, two more questions. You talk about the classroom part, right? You took 10 classes of them, right? And you had to finals, essays, all of that stuff. I don't know what type of student you were at Randolph. Can you describe what type of student you were at Randolph?
I'm not gonna lie, I took my time at Randolph for granted. I wasn't really the best student here. Like a lot of teachers would tell you that. Wasn't going to class on time. I was late. 40 missing assignments. I was one of those kids, you know. And it wasn't like I was a bad kid or I just didn't care. It was just I was procrastinating. That's who I was.
Yeah.
But it's like I got given a second chance when I went to JUCO. And, you know, a lot of times you go to JUCO, you find cats that are like still procrastinating and everything. And that wasn't me. And you could ask my coaches there. I was on top of everything. I remember finishing JUCO with a 3.5 GPA. So a lot of that was me right there when I got out of JUCO. When I was going into JUCO, I knew that like the way I am has to change if I want to go obtain what I want to obtain. So, you know, I took away, I didn't even take my game with me or anything. I didn't even have a TV my first semester. It was just a laptop. My room was straight up empty. So you're there by yourself. You don't have that many friends at first. So it was so easy for me to give myself a cushion. That's like I tell a lot of guys here too. You're taking easy freshman classes and all that stuff. You could pass by with flying colors. Build a cushion for yourself. Even try to shoot for a 4.0 GPA. Because what I went through is when I went to my spring semester, that's when I started making more friends, talking to a lot of people, going to events and stuff like that. And you're going to get tired, you're going to get lazy, or you're just going to be having fun with people. So you're probably going to miss a couple assignments, and that's okay. You're going to be late to class a few times, that's okay. And you're just having fun, you're learning about yourself. So in that moment, you built a cushion, so maybe your grades drop, you got a 3.5 GPA. And you're still eligible for scholarships, honors, and all that other stuff. And then you realize how bad that semester was. It dropped 3.5, and it clicked in your head. I had fun. I made friends. I got good connections. Now this next semester, I can lock in for the next semester and get my GPA back up to where it needs. And it's not like it's detrimental. It's a 1.5 or, you know, it's in a good spot where you can just get into a better spot.
All right, one more question just to finish it off. What would you tell young athletes or young students how to go about their lives and people that want to be in positions like you, how to go about it and how to get there?
Believe. Like, believe takes you a long way, and being a good person. Like I was just talking to one of the young guys today about it, and I asked him, I said, yo, do you really want to play college football? And he's like, now my dad said I got potential. And I said, no, do you really want to play college football? Because at the end of the day, you're the one I got to wake up at 6 in the morning. You're the one I got to go to all these classes and get on time and be on time for things. And you're in a different state where you don't know nobody, you don't got no friends, nothing. You're trying to learn yourself. So no matter what anybody says, if you go on the phone and you say, you made me come here, they'll tell you, no, I didn't make you come here. That was your decision. So at the end of the day, you can't go and do something because somebody else told you to, or you say you have potential. If you want to do it, go do it. And being a good person takes you a long way. I was so good. I was so polite to everybody here. And it comes back to bless me. That Randolph is open hands to me whenever I needed something. Just like when I hit up Goris about that waiver instantly. It was so polite. Like, I didn't even want anything super big. I was talking about I just want a signing day because it's always been my dream. And Pearl went out his way and made that special. He made it so special. So shout out to Pearl, shout out to Fanning, shout out to this whole entire building. Everybody's just so polite and everything. And I hear it all the time. They're rooting for me. And it feels so good knowing that you guys are rooting for me. And that's one of my whys is I want to make it so I show kids here that it's possible.
Yeah.
That, I talked to one of the other guys too that graduated already, and I felt like he had the better potential than I did, but he didn't believe in himself. And because it's New York ball, we don't got recognition or anything like that. And that's what I want to prove, that regardless of recognition or outside noise or anything, if you put your mind to something, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what anybody says, no matter what happens, the circumstances, you can control your reality. And I was talking to one of my friends back in, old friend, knew him since middle school, and I was talking about dreams to reality, that term dreams to reality. Reality is what you make it. And if you sitting here, let's say I have a bad mindset, you have a good mindset. My bad mindset is my reality. I could be like, oh, you are an a-hole and you probably don't care about me and da-da-da, you're stuck up. And you in your mind could be like, oh, this person looks like a really good guy. He carries his head on his shoulders well and stuff. That's our realities. So now when you have dreams to realities, and people say there's no limit on dreaming, it's true. There's no limit on dreaming. Those people who have these cars and mansions and all this stuff, their dreams, they worked their tail off to make that into reality. Reality is what you make it. So if you want something, you're dreaming of, like even simple things where we dream of like getting a car or dream of getting a phone and stuff, and you work to get it, you just made your dream into reality. And people don't realize that that's so commendable, especially nowadays, how bad our world is. And we have leaders that don't allow us to control our own lives. You have so much control and power over your own life, and people don't understand that. So biggest thing I tell kids is believe, 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 be a really good person, and have faith. Have faith. The Lord got me through the darkest times of my life, and I know there's so many more to come because I'm growing, and I know that is my lifeline. Like I tell a lot of people, like, you can't do it by yourself. And be honest, like the pressure is you're gonna feel the heat, and you need someone that's gonna alleviate some of that heat, and he does that. He alleviates all of it. So faith, be a good person, believe in yourself, have some faith. And the most importantly, if you want something, you gotta get up and go get it. You gotta get up. Don't let outside circumstances, noise, or your situation hold you down from getting what you want. Because when 40, 50 years down the road, and you're sitting down and you don't have time anymore, are you gonna regret or are you gonna have memories? Are you gonna love the life that you lived or are you gonna regret the life that you could have lived? So that's why I tell a lot of guys is, you got time, you're young, you're learning yourself, believe in yourself, find the Lord, be a good person to everybody you meet, and just chase what you want, and eventually it'll come to you.
All right. Thank you for tuning into the Sidelines. Hope to see you furthermore, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.